Hey everyone, Spangle here with FOB Equestria, home of the military bronies, here at Fiesta Equestria, and I have with me Maryke Hendrikse.
Nice one.
Nice.
Get it right. Hi.
For those of you unaware, she is a veteran actress. I think that's safe to say, right?
I think so.
I mean, you've
Probably
got a
at
lot
this
of
point.
experience under your belt.
Probably at this point, yeah.
But she is Gilda on the show. I'm
Yes.
one of the, I don't really want to say lesser characters, just not as
She
much
was only
screen
in one
time.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a way, I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, I definitely think that for that episode, however, she had a significant impact.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and I know there's actually a lot of people, or at least a notable amount of people, who would like to kind of maybe see her get a chance to redeem herself.
Yeah, it's a question I get asked a lot. Whether I'd like. I mean, I personally would come back and do whatever was written if it was written. So I'd be happy to portray whatever situation, scenario, characterization that they would want me to do. I mean, there's nothing.
Well, I mean, that's just professionalism. Right
Exactly.
there.
I mean, that's just you do your job. And I'd be thrilled to come back and do another episode. That would be great. But it also wouldn't trouble me if she wasn't redeemed in the slightest.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Yep. And
so-
not everybody turns to the good.
No. I mean, we did get our Trixie redemption episode.
You did.
I don't know if you were aware of that, but
Yes.
Trixie did get a chance to. I mean, she was still a villain in the episode, but at the end of it, she
Figured
kind of
it out.
she made it up. So people kind of would like to see the same with Gilda, but I get what you're saying too. I mean, some people are just mean.
Yep.
You're not, though. Clearly.
I don't think I'm mean, but I hope not.
Well, it's.
I try not to be.
I know you've said
What I am in traffic, terrible. Like if I'm driving,
Well, that's forgivable.
but the windows are closed and no one can hear me. But it's really, really horrific.
I think everyone has a bit of that dark side in them when
The
they're.
road rage.
Yeah, the road rage.
Yeah.
But so I know you've said you've done some villains in the past as well, and so it's kind of weird that I'm sure you're familiar with Grey Delisle.
Yes.
She does a lot of villains too. I mean, she was Azula, she was Vicky, but I mean, you're both so opposite of those characters. I mean, how do you find yourself able to kind of tap into this darker side?
I know this can sound so ridiculous, but it's just easy to go there.
Really? I guess
It's really just delving into the character, and I do that whether it's no matter what the character description is, you just dive in and understand things about the character that make them tick and why they behave the way they do and say the things that they do. And so for me, it's quite easy to do stuff like that. You can't apologize. You just can't apologize for the behavior of the character, I can, using certain vocal techniques helps, right?
Right.
Making your voice like lower and more raspy,
more
and stuff
ominous. Yes.
growly and stuff like that. So that helps.
Yeah, that would definitely provide the right atmosphere. And again, what you described to me kind of sounds a bit more of like that professionalism, just understanding I have to portray this character for who they have written them to be. And it's not so much, it's not who you are, but it's who you are trying to bring to life.
Absolutely.
So, just getting into that mindset, becoming the character for a short time.
Yes, that's what you do.
Yes. So I'm
And you
sure
just turn it off when it's, you turn it off when
like a
the take is
switch.
over. Yeah, it's just done.
I think a lot of people in the military kind of get that, especially when it comes to drill sergeants, because a lot of drill sergeants tend to be really nice in person, but when they're training people, they are scary.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because the job has to be done, right? The job
Absolutely.
has to be done, and it has to be done the right way. And, the best way to motivate people sometimes is to push people.
Yeah. Now,
That would be, I imagine, what goes on
definitely.
with drill sergeants.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's accurate enough to say. But one thing I thought was really interesting about Gilda's episode was, Rainbow Dash was really torn. She's the element of loyalty. And she wants to be loyal to her old flight school friend, but she also has this loyalty to her new friends.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of put in a decision to make a choice, and in either case, she feels like she's being disloyal. But in the end, it was definitely a bullying episode.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I
Gilda's
think-
a bully.
Yes. So I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts about that for people in real life who are maybe have that conflict between old friends and new friends? Do you think that episode kind of portrayed that pretty well?
Yes, I do think so. And I think that sometimes you have to make tough decisions in life. And ultimately, it's about the people that you want to surround yourself with and what you believe to be the right thing. And if you don't believe that Gilda's behavior in this particular circumstance, or somebody like Gilda, if you don't think that that's okay, then the word loyalty doesn't even play into it. Just because somebody's been your friend since they were, you guys were 6 years old in grade 1 together. First grade, as you Americans say. They turn out to be somebody who's not a very nice person. Well, that's their choice.
Right.
And the result of that choice is the potential to lose friends. So that's their choice. And if you don't feel good about that behavior and don't feel good about associating yourself with that type of energy, then move on.
Definitely.
And loyalty doesn't have anything to do with it. That's my perspective. And so I think, Rainbow Dash
made the right decision.
She made the right decision. She did the right thing. When you were talking about whether she's ever going to come back again, well, maybe that's part of what happens if she comes back. No idea if that's ever going to happen, but who knows?
We can hope. We hoped for a Trixie episode. It happened. But that doesn't necessarily mean a Gilda episode will happen.
No, it doesn't mean it.
So I'm just curious, were you at all kind of taken aback by the fact that you kind of had just this one episode in the show, but the fans of this community have kind of just reached out to you? It's not something I would think is all that common.
No, it's not very common, especially as you said, it's one episode. But I think she was so different, especially in season 1. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like boom, just out of nowhere, here's this mean person, bully, essentially. And so I think that because it's so striking, the difference between all the rest of the ponies and then this crazy person coming in. So I think that's part of it. Is it startling? And I think that it's fun in this particular instance. You can love to hate somebody, and in cartoon world, that's okay to do.
Yes,
and so that's partly enjoyable.
Oh,
loving
absolutely.
to hate the villain.
Yes, I know there's a lot of people who. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone understands that on at least some level.
Yep.
There's definitely those moments where I'm watching a show or a movie and the villain gets what's coming to him. I'm like, yeah,
of course.
Just that little bit of rush.
Yeah.
So, now, Bronies.
Yes.
When did you first kind of discover us? I'm kind of curious.
Probably like a year and a half ago, or.
Oh, so you've known about us for quite a while then.
Maybe. I think.
Maybe.
I think it's about a year and a half ago because working with the people.
Right.
On the show, and then the convention's starting and all that kind of stuff. You're aware of it. We socialize outside of the studio, so you start to hear about what people are doing and where they're going, and then you're thinking, okay, this is interesting. This is a phenomenon, and you start to understand what's going on. So that probably about a year and a half, I'd say.
So pleasant experience with the Bronies so far?
Excellent experience. Everybody's so nice.
Awesome. Well, we try to be, definitely.
Yeah. It shows. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. I'm just curious. Military Bronies are they've been a thing for a while, but a lot of us kind of keep to ourselves a lot of times because, as a military guy, you're a bit more likely to attract more scrutiny than less. People are like, I don't know what it is. Apparently, you offend a whole nother group of people if you're in the military and you like My Little Pony. But I'm just kind of curious.
I can only imagine. Oh, God. Okay.
But I'm just curious, have you really had any significant interactions with military Bronies up until this point?
No, not until this point. I've met my first couple of Bronies who are serving. There was a Brony in luncheon for those in service yesterday, and so I met a couple of folks. This is the first time I've ever been really in contact. I've heard stories. I've heard stories, and I've heard how the show has been really helpful for some people.
Oh, absolutely.
Coming back from being I don't know the proper term.
Well, coming back from being deployed overseas and all that good stuff in the war zone.
That's right. And so I've heard, and thank you for that proper way of saying it.
It's no problem at all.
Thank you. And I've heard things, really positive things about how that's been helpful for people.
Yeah, I know we were at, us as FOB Equestria, we were at Las Pegasus, and you were there as well, that convention.
Yes.
But for a lot of people, it was, for the con goers themselves, it wasn't all too bad. I mean, they didn't quite get the full Sunday, but...
No, they didn't.
We were doing our own thing there, and I know has commented on that technically you had some of the villains there.
Yes.
Of sorts.
Yeah, you're right.
You had Gilda, which it seems a little odd to call Gilda a villain. It seems a bit extreme.
But it's okay. I know what you mean.
Then you had John Delancey, Discord.
Yes.
And I believe Tabitha voiced Nightmare Moon. I know she does Luna, but...
I think you're right. I don't remember. I wasn't obviously in that episode. So.
Right. Well,
That's
that
right.
was
That's
season
right.
one,
we're
episode
hearing
1.
it's right. That's right.
Okay, so I'm glad I'm right about that. So it's like you had 3 of the villains from the show, and it's like, and I know this was talked about a bit earlier, it's like it seems only natural
To have
a villain panel.
That would have been awesome. I would have loved to have done that panel. And that maybe there would be lots of booing and hissing from the crowd, which would have been awesome. But yeah, maybe that'll happen sometime. You never know.
You never know. It's definitely one of those things that we can hopefully look forward to.
Yep.
I know John's a very busy man, so
Totally. I mean,
maybe get Trixie, even though she's not technically a villain anymore, the voice actor for Trixie or actress.
Yes. Actor, actress. It's okay.
It's sometimes gender specific terms are kind of important, but
sometimes it depends on the person too.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those things. I'm just wondering. So you've been to 2 Brony conventions.
Yep.
Resounding success. This one, you would say?
Yeah, for me it has been great.
And
really well organized, and from my perspective.
Right, and so, but you've also been to a lot of other conventions, and anything you'd like in particularly more, or maybe not like more, but well, I'm saying anything different about Brony conventions from a regular convention that you really like to see here, and maybe.
I just like the positiveness, like the just really positive feeling that happens, in the rooms and when you're walking around.
So a little bit different, not quite that same energy at regular conventions?
Yeah, not quite that same energy. I mean, people are nice. It's not that, there's a bunch of Gildas running around every other convention. But there's just a very particular feel of real kind of positive, joyful
energy.
Vibe.
Yeah, vibe. Now, I know at this convention, you got to do a lot of panels.
Yeah, we did do quite a few panels. I think I was on 3 or 4.
I know there were 2 voice actor panels, which were you on both of those? So that was all of them.
We did 2 with all of us.
And then there was like the 2.5 mares plus a griffin.
Yeah, which I love. That title is my favorite title.
And I don't know what the 4th one would have been.
I don't know either. So maybe it's only been 3.
It might have been 3, but still.
Anyways.
So given your impressions here, do you perhaps plan on going to more Brony conventions?
Sure. I mean, I would consider any invitation. I mean, there's obviously every now and again you have other commitments on a weekend that you've received an invitation for. But I'd certainly consider any invitation that I would receive, and likely go to a good portion of them.
Yeah, I mean, and I certainly hope, as FOB Equestria, we will be making appearances at other conventions, and hopefully we'll be able to say hi to you again.
Thanks, I hope that too.
Now, I'm just about to wrap this up. I was wondering, military bronies are a bit unique and a bit of an oddity, so I was wondering if, like, maybe you had any questions for me, or if not, that's perfecly fine. But or if you have anything comments that you might want to bring up.
I would like to comment on. I would like to know, is there like a viewing night?
A viewing night?
Yeah, when you're overseas or deployed. Is that proper? Right? That's what I just learned. Overseas or deployed.
Yes.
Is there like a night where you guys view My Little Pony Friendship is Magic together? Because that would be awesome.
I feel like that probably doesn't happen because, again, a lot of military guys tend to be pretty secretive about it. Although we were talking with one of the guys here who ships a lot of, he's one of the services that provides like different sort of DVDs and cartoons and stuff overseas.
So that there's something for you guys to do and watch when you're not
and he said
working.
He's had a rather large demand for My Little Pony, so they're watching it.
That's the best.
But I don't know if they're having viewing nights because,
Okay.
like I said, I think they kind of keep it a little closer to their chest.
Okay,
so.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
But yeah, I would like to see that, but I don't think it's that likely, unfortunately.
Too bad.
But anyway, thank you very much for taking some time.
And thank you, to all the people who are watching who serve, and it's much appreciated. I mean, I'm Canadian, but we're allies.
Yes, we are allies. I love our Canadian allies.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
We're like best neighbors ever.
We are great neighbors. I think we're great neighbors. So anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. What you do is without compare. So thanks.
Well, thank you. And this has been Spangle with FOB Equestria with Maryke Hendrikse.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Semper Fili, my bronies.